What's up guys, Triple C here. Welcome y'all to my next tutorial. In this tutorial I'll teach you guys how to build mega container ramps like the one you see right here. Now this will be a bit more intricate than the other tutorials as there's different approach methods you can use to build these. There's different techniques. So we're going to split this tutorial up in two pieces. In the first one I'll just show you all the basics, all the different approach methods. In the second one I'll teach you guys how to build them super smooth. They can actually drive any car, including Turismos, over it. So we're just going to jump right over to Sandy Shores Airfield where I'll show you guys how to build them. Alright, let's go. Alright guys, so let's build some container ramps. So the trick with the container ramps is you're always going to place containers on normal ramps, and that's how you get the containers at an angle. So right now I got a small ramp on the left here, medium ramp in the middle, and on the right I got a large ramp. Depending on which setup you're going to go with in the beginning, you're always going to have your small intricacies regarding the run up to the ramp. I'll quickly start with the medium ramp here. So how to get the container on there, we're going to switch glitch it on there. If you don't know how to switch glitch, check out my first tutorial where I explain everything in detail. Okay, connection has been restored. So you just move left on the props category to construction, to on your cement bags. You move it up to the ramp slowly, and you see that they will tilt at an angle. There's actually two angles, this one, and if I move it up a bit more, the steeper angle. You want to go with the steeper angle. Now you just switch glitch the container in there, so right and X on the D-pad. Another one, cement bag, place it, pick it up again, go up the ramp, get the steep angle, and right and X. Alright, so now we got our first run up with the medium ramp as a base ramp. I'll speed up this next step where I place them on the small and the large ramp. Alright, so now we got our starting points. With the small ramps, when you work with those, the run up is never going to be really smooth. You can build it really smooth, but it's really fidgety. So you would have to start to get on the ramp at all. You would maybe have to start with small ramps, for example, place one down, elevate the second one with L1, get it exactly at the same height as the other one. Try to make a smooth run up, you know, just figure around with it till you get it right at the spot where you're just going to hit the ramp perfectly. With the large ramp, the way it's placed down now, you got a small ledge in the ground, and cars will brick wall on it. So if you ride a Zenturno or a Turismo up there, will brick wall on that small little ledge we got on the ground. So what you could, for example, do with the large ramp, maybe just switch glitch a small ramp in here to make the run up a bit smoother. So go to machinery, electrics box, hit right and X, just switch glitch a small ramp in here. Come on. Alright, so let's have a look at it. Yeah, this would probably work, but generally I think if you start with a large ramp and a container above it, the angle will be too steep to begin with, and your car will just hit the containers too hard and maybe lose some speed. So the optimal setup, I think, is if you work with the medium type ramp and build your container ramp from there. Also different methods how you can get your starting ramp, how to get your car up there. A very easy way to do it would, for example, be to place a small ramp down here at quite a distance, so the cars will jump and just land on this one. But there's actually a much smoother method to get the run up right. You're not going to be able to place a small ramp in here because it's just a bit too small for it. I can demonstrate it real quick. So yeah, you see if I place a small ramp down here, it's just not high enough, and you will brick wall on this ledge here. Means your car will just stop and just bump into this ledge. So what you want to do is you want to get a medium ramp in here. How we're going to do it is go on ramps, select a medium ramp. Now go on the side of this and just look at it, basically. So we're just going to test it now. We're placing a medium ramp down here next to it. And I'm going to look at it from the side. Nah, it's still too low, so I got to place it a bit back. So now I'm going to place it here. I'm going to look at it from the side again. And it's pretty hard to see in the creator always, but I think now it's a bit higher than the containers. So what we're doing, we're using this as a benchmark prop. You now leave this medium ramp in here. Now you go and delete the containers again. Okay, now you're going to place the second medium ramp exactly where the containers were, exactly at the same level. Basically, you got your benchmark medium ramp. So I'm just going to place it down here. All right, and now we switch glitch the containers back in. Place pick up again, get on the ramp till you got your steep angle, and switch glitch it in. Right. Okay, and if you now look at it, actually your medium ramp is a bit higher than the containers, which is exactly what you want. So you always want to have your props overlapping in that direction, that you come from a higher surface onto a lower surface, so your cars don't hit any ledges and don't brick wall into it. Alright, so now you basically got a perfect run up for the ramp. So now you start building. Oh yeah, before we start building the angle steeper, I'm quickly going to show you a method how you get a straight double extended container ramp. So delete these out again, go on my medium ramp again. Okay, wait, medium ramp, here it is. Okay, now just elevate it with L3 a bit. Get this at the same height as the other one. And now this is kind of tricky, you gotta hit the spot exactly right. You want to have it about here. Wait. Okay, next one should be elevated automatically, exactly. Now you just continue building from here. Okay, we'll place one more. Alright, so now we basically got a straight run up with no angles changing. Now we'll go back to our ramp. Containers. Okay, hold up. Containers, switch over to construction, cement bags. Okay, we'll just switch glitch them in. Okay, and now you can just continue with your ramps there. You can just place another cement bag up here so it'll connect with the other ramp. Always place it first, pick it up again, otherwise it won't work. Some people are writing me it doesn't work. They're just forgetting to first place it and then pick it up again. Alright, let's have a look at it from the side. I'm not building these exactly straight here because I'm rushing it. When you're building it, make sure that they're always exactly at the same distance to each other. But here also, the way I was placing the ramps, now you got them overlapping in this direction, that the previous one is always a bit higher than the next one, which is really important for building smooth ramps, because if it would overlap in the other way, there's no chance a Turismo would get over there. So yeah, now we got a straight run up. There's also a method to get them exactly at the same height, but that's a pretty tedious one. I'll show it in the second part of this tutorial. Alright, so now we're going to start building at an angle. By the way, you can always, those ramps you had underneath there, just take them out again, delete them again, because maybe later you'll forget it and then you're just losing props. Alright, so now we're going to start building an angle here. So what we're going to do is we go over to signs, to the right chevron road sign, as it's the smallest one. And we're going to place that one inside the container where you're allowed to place it, as close to the wall as you can. And now you're going to switch glitch over to the small ramp again. Alright, now we switch glitch that one in here. And on that ramp we're going to place our containers again. So go over to construction, cement bags, place, pick up again. Now get on the edge of the ramp, find the sweet spot where you're allowed to place it. You got to be very precise with your controller there. Okay, so here we're allowed to place it. Now just switch glitch our container in here. Same one here, build one next to it. Alright. Yeah, and I'm not paying a lot of attention to detail here because I'm just rushing it, obviously, to show you guys. What you can also do if you do this, because it's kind of tricky getting this one ramp in here in the middle and placing the right container on it, you can also place a small ramp in each of the two openings of the containers. Works just as well, it's even easier actually. Okay, so let's get back to the ramps. Got a small ramp. Go over to the road sign, pick it. I'll quickly show it with two ramps just for demonstration purposes. So get them in the opening just where you're allowed to place them. Switch glitch a small ramp in there. Okay, now I'll do the same with the other opening. Okay. So now we got two small ramps in here. Go back to your construction, cement bags. Find the spot where you're allowed to place it. Line it up with the ramp. Okay, I'm not really paying attention to detail, but you get the idea. Yeah, they're not really close enough to... Okay, so now we got the first part of the ramp already. It's beginning to get steeper. So I'll just speed up the next part until we get to a point where we have to work differently from here on. Yeah, okay guys, we're there already at the point. I thought I could build one or two more. So now you're at an angle where you're not allowed to place the cement bags anymore because the angle is just too steep and the prop is too big to place it on that angle. So what you want to do is you go over to your containers, go one category to the right to crates and boxes, hit 5 or 6 to the right I think, till you get the cash crate. And the cash crate is really small, you can basically place it anywhere. And now you can just switch glitch it over from the cash crate. So now you hit left and X. Right, so now we got one place. Actually on PS3 it's much easier to do because the cash crate, I think you just got to press 1 or 2 to the right. On PS4 they were nice enough to put it back here somewhere where it's really hard to access quick. So yeah, just oops, wrong angle. Okay, that's how we want to have it. Actually this one, small wooden box, also works at this angle, but you get to a point quickly where only the cash crate works. Alright, so now we got these. Next, place a small ramp again, just repeating the same process over and over. Okay, what you can also do, if you're comfortable with it, use the drag and drop or move glitch technique or method. Get over here to container. You see on the ground I'm allowed to place it. Up here I'm not, so you just pull down on the analog stick till it gets up in this position and X at the same time. I'm pretty comfortable with it. I know a lot of people are struggling, so do whatever fits you better. Where you are allowed to place it to where you're not allowed to place it, and hit X at the same time. Alright. So now we got a pretty steep ramp already. And I can just go on and on. Okay, I think now we're at an angle where you can't even place the cash crate anymore. So from that point on you would have to drag and drop it in there. So guys, better just get accustomed to it, figure out the timing, because it's essential when you're building these kind of structures. Yeah. Now we're at an angle now. This is just standing upright. We don't want to have it at that angle, you see. So yeah, now you gotta use the drag and drop technique. Just pull it up here. I got that one. And that one. Alright, now we're pretty steep already. We can go one more just for demonstration purposes. I think now we're also at an angle where we're going to have trouble placing the small road sign in here. And yep, you guessed it, drag and drop. So you want to drag and drop your small ramp in there. Which is pretty tricky because if you pull over here very slowly, it'll first stand upright on the ledge of the container. So you gotta get your timing exactly perfect. Otherwise it'll stick to the container in the wrong direction. Yeah, like there, you just saw it there pretty briefly. Alright, so we got this one. Now over to containers again. Yeah, look what happened now. This is exactly what I mean, that it can get stuck at the wrong angle. So timing is really important here. Hey. Yeah, okay guys, so now we just reached a point where it's like extremely tricky to get it in there, and I would recommend using a different method there. I'll show that in another tutorial, because actually where we're getting at now is building half loops and loops with containers. This tutorial is just about the ramps, so maybe if you want to extend the ramp, you could maybe just take a small ramp from here. And just go on the road sign again. Get it in there. And yeah, just maybe build a small half loop up here. I showed that in my previous tutorial. See? Now you got a really super steep ramp. I'll just go and test it without these here. Let's see how we jump over it. Yep, works perfect. Alright guys, so that was the first part of the tutorial on building mega container ramps. Next up is the second part where I'm going to show you a new method how you can do it much smoother, where we eliminate basically all these gaps and ledges we got in here that will break walls and turnos and turismos. So yeah, just watch out for the second video. I'm going to teach you how to build them super smooth.